Welcome back to Huddle Up. Let's end this show by talking the biggest winners and losers of free agency. We'll go one each. Let's start with your winner.
Not only have the Houston Texans been the winner in the NFL over the last year, everyone predicted them to go like 2-15 a year ago, and they go out and win the division. CJ Stroud has really accelerated the timeline in Houston, and I think GM Nick Caserio has recognized that and had a really, really smart free agency window. We talked about Danielle Hunter and how big of a signing that is, but it's other signings like Danico Autry up front, who had 12 sacks last year, getting him for just $10 million a year in a very inflated pass rushing market. I think is one of the best bargain signings of the window. Then you also got a linebacker, Azeez Al-Shaair, who has proven to be a very productive player. You go out and get him. Then in the secondary, you got Derek Stingley Jr., who's really starting to blossom into a star. But you take a flyer on someone like Jeff Okudah, who was a third overall pick just 4 years ago, and I feel like he still can play. You give him another shot in a defensive system led by D'Amico Ryans. It just feels very, very exciting right now in Houston, and the fact that they're kind of going all out. I haven't even mentioned getting Joe Mixon as just a real workhorse at running back, who I think can really complement this young offensive core. So I'm excited about what Houston's doing right now, and I think that the fact that they've recognized where they are, and they understand that they have a couple years before CJ Stroud's making $60+ million. Let's go all out and try to win now, when it's probably easiest to construct the best roster around him.
It's a great pick. I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions, another team that kind of was on the rise last year. Not only did they give extensions to the guys running the show there, but they've done great in free agency, identifying the needs, which were on defense. That offense is so special, but bringing in DJ Reader is a great move. Trading for Carlton Davis, I know they were in the L'Jarius Sneed sweepstakes, but still being able to get Carlton Davis is great. And then getting Amik Robertson at corner, re-signing Emmanuel Mosley, bringing in Marcus Davenport to give your pass rush some more juice if he stays healthy. That's a former first-round pick. They're just throwing a lot of bodies at some of the problems they had last year on defense, which was in the secondary and pass rush. And if these guys hit, and there are some good guys in that group, that defense complementing that offense in an even bigger way this year could take this Lions team even farther.
Two teams that have no doubt put together some good moves, but let's look on the other end of the spectrum, because there are some pretty big losers when it comes to NFL free agency. Who's yours?
The Jacksonville Jaguars for me. I like some of the moves they made, but overall the offensive vision just kind of baffled me a little. This is the last year of Trevor Lawrence being inexpensive, and instead of re-signing Calvin Ridley and making that a priority, they went out and got Gabe Davis, and that's their receiving room now. It's what it's been in the past, which kind of makes me hesitant about them. Like, I think this is a team 2 years ago we were really excited about the trajectory. Last year with Calvin Ridley, adding him, we were excited about what the offense could be, and now it seems like it's just taking a step back and hopefully relying on Trevor Lawrence to be the guy and just carry them and lift everyone up with him, which I think he has the ability to do. But when you have him on such an inexpensive contract, you want to take advantage of that, and I just don't think they are.
Everything about Jacksonville right now to me feels kind of good, not great. Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, very good, very solid, but who is there that's going to really put you over the top to compete with the best of the best in the AFC? I don't think we've seen that quite yet from the Jaguars. My biggest loser, unfortunately, it's the New Orleans Saints, which may sound weird because they haven't really generated any headlines as of late, and maybe that's a bit of the problem. They have been in salary cap disaster for the past couple years, and they're starting to see that pay the price to the roster, because last year they kind of went all in on Derek Carr, even though the rest of their team wasn't in a very all-in period. Now they're easily, in my opinion, the third best team in a division, with an ascending Tampa Bay Buccaneers team with Baker Mayfield, who's coming off a really good season, and an Atlanta Falcons team that just made the biggest splash of free agency to go out and Kirk Cousins. So you don't have a very promising future in New Orleans. You also have a quarterback who you're tied to that has a cap hit of $60 million upcoming, and a $50 million one the year before that. You can't move off of him. You don't have a ton of young players, and you made zero moves in free agency to truly go all out, even though the way your roster is constructed right now, you should be going all out. So New Orleans Saints, they feel like an organization where it's going to get worse before it gets better, and an ultimate reset. feels like it's in the cards in the next couple years. So for now, they are my biggest loser of the free agency window.
Tough if you're a New Orleans Saints fan. But hey, the Super Bowl is going to be in your city. You probably won't be in it, but that's okay. At least you can enjoy the big game. And thank you for enjoying another episode of Huddle Up. We'll be back in a couple of weeks.